The final part 5. I guess it's kind of like part 4, and then there's an introduction. All right. So, trying to keep it, because as you could see, if you've been following all the parts, this would have been a massive 2-hour long video. I tried to do each part in 10 minutes. I'm sure I could have succeeded if I tried harder, but I think that you would have missed some nuances and stuff and whatever. So, you know, these 10-minute videos turned into 20-minute videos, but I think you need to like it anyway. Subscribe, okay? Hit the notification bell. And if you, I don't even know the date right now because I'm filming these all at once, but if this airs prior to the 12th, it'll air close to the 12th anyways. And on the 12th is tickets go on sale for the Rule Zero conference, Zoom conference. I'm speaking at it, and I got something in store for you that I'm gonna blow your mind. I'm gonna blow your mind out the back of your head. I'm gonna change how you think about women, period. Okay, like it's gonna change your entire paradigm, and you're going to be so much better off just from this 1-hour discussion I'm gonna do. It's not an overpromise. That's just the way it is. It's the facts. So it's worth the ticket price. I'm not the only speaker. There's 9 others that have some real bang up sessions in store. I'm excited about some of those sessions myself. So you're gonna get a lot of value for your money. And I hope to see you at the Zoom conference. If you're gonna go, please buy tickets from me. I say that because I got the lowest number of subs and I'm just getting started, so I don't have a community yet. I don't even have a Patreon yet. There's stuff I need to build still. And so, I mean, I'm not going to have as many ticket sales as the other guys. What it does is it lets the other guys know that you guys support my work. And so that would let them know that just buying it from me, okay? So if you're going to buy a ticket, you know, and want to attend the event, do me that favor if you follow my content, like it, that you buy it from my link. Just so these guys know that, you know, I got support out there like you guys, okay? And I'll keep continuing to do my best to put out content of value. And I don't know, man. I hope you guys get it. I'm putting out this 5-part series, and like, I hope you get it. You know, some of you guys, you won't get it. Like, there's a fair amount of people going to listen to this, and they're just not going to get it. They're not going to see that this is literally the golden ticket to having frame and having the most amazing LTR experiences you could ever have. Like, they're not going to see it. They're not. Some of you guys won't get it. You'll think I'm blabbering for 20 minutes and you won't understand it, and that sucks. You know, you're just not there yet. I don't know what to do about you. You know, this isn't simple shit. This isn't sound bites. This isn't 5-minute videos where some of you guys expect to get all the answers in 5 minutes, or you cry about how long the video is. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. This stuff is advanced game, advanced shit, and it's a tactical framework. It's not a how-to. Coach with me for the how-to. I'll develop a course. Hopefully at some point I need to develop a course on what I'm talking about to give you guys more of the how-tos. All right? But this gives you a starting point. You can seek the how-to out anyway, now that you have the tactical framework. And I say tactical framework, I'm talking tactical plans, so to speak, to execute having maximum frame control in your relationships with women. And when you have that, you have peak experiences. I wish I could illustrate. This is like if you're following video that on idealistic isolation that she's going through in these phases, but there's a level of that even I go through with you guys, because I get so many guys who are black pill MGTOW types or just red pill rage types. You guys have had shitty relationships. You've had bad experiences with women, and you look at me and you think maybe I haven't had bad experiences with women. I gotta tell you, I've had really bad ones, okay, myself. But I'm having the best experiences with women, and I have been for years. Even my LTRs that didn't work out were like 1,000 times better than what most dudes experience in their long-term relationships. And those relationships I ended because there was reasons for that, and they didn't serve me well. Okay, but I'm in it, and I'm in an LTR now that, man, if I could illustrate to you guys the level of experience that you can have, and it's at your fingertips. And there is no nihilistic reason you can't have it. You already look good enough, okay? Probably. You might need a makeover, man. I don't know. Maybe you do need to get to the gym. I don't know, right? Maybe you do need to, whatever, lose a few pounds, get on your diet. There could be things, okay, that you could do to increase your SMV. But, man, like, even with those handicaps that some of you guys might have, maybe your wallet needs to be a little bit thicker, okay? I don't know, all right? But the point is, like, you can have it, like, right now, even with these limitations. It'd be a little harder for you. And I do recommend you work on those things just to be a better man and to have more options and have things be a little bit easier on you, so you're not trying to do game on hard mode because you're overweight or you're dressed weird, But point is, though, is you can do this. You can do this. And there's nothing stopping you. And if you have these techniques and tactics, okay, that I'm passing along to you, when you find that chick and you are at a point where you can have a chick that sees you as her apex alpha, you will create such an experience for yourself and for her that it's just going to blow your mind. Like, the amount, and it's not a brag, man. Like, I'm not trying to say, like, brag to you how great I am or something. It's not about that. I'm having the types of experiences with women that are so amazing and just beyond what fits the paradigm of most people, that I want to share that with you guys. I want you to be able to do that too, and I know that you can. Some of you will require more work than others, but you can do it regardless. And I'm giving you the framework, at least the tactical framework, to be able to do it without charging you any money. All you have to do is listen to a goddamn YouTube video and make it to the end and get through my little rants like this. That's not that hard, right? You do that, here's the information now. You have the how-to. Well, I should say you have the framework. Now, you might need to go out and collect some skills, like game skills, or learn a bit more how to apply, the stages I'm talking about in these videos, but you got it. You know what I mean? You have it, and you have it for free. What a wonderful world we live in. This shit was not even understood. Guys had to find this stuff by accident, and then they died with the secrets. Now we can immortalize it in a video, and you guys can have the skills to have whatever relationship you want and to have peak experiences. Like, how cool is that, right? So with that, that's my lengthy intro. Man, if you haven't gone and you've not watched the introduction to the series and part 1, okay, and part 2 and part 3, and this is part 4, then go backwards, and I want you to watch every video to the end, all right? And now you can pick up here, all right? So in the first one, we talked about, dread. No, we didn't talk about dread. We're going to talk about that this video. In the first one, we gave the introduction of what game is. Rollo Tomasi's article on not game. Fuck, dude, I can't even. I'm doing these all in a row, so now I'm way into it. I would say it's the on what frame is. Excuse me. So yeah. So my intro, we talked about what frame actually is and what these different stages are designed to do. There's a link in the description that I've put in the description of all these on Frame. It's Rollo Tomasi's blog. He just explains Frame very well in his first book and in the blog. So you want to know what that is, hit the intro up and hit that link. And then, we talked about programming. Programming is the act of her really coming into your frame. That is really what programming is. That is where she changes, she sees you as the highest SMV. She is programmed, rather, to see you as her best sexual option, as the highest SMV she can get, as her apex alpha. She starts to see you as that, and then she starts to change her beliefs and behaviors and her lifestyle, even, and her life and parts of her life to be a complement to yours. That's what happens during programming, is she sees you as worth it, and she decides to change who she is to want to be in that, to be a part of that. okay, and to earn you. And then once she's sort of there and you guys are having amazing experiences, you're seducing her, you're having a great time with her, she realizes that what she has with you is unlike what she could have with anybody else, and that nobody even understands it or gets it. And there is an objective truth to that. If you are an alpha male, it's very hard for a woman to ever replace that. And so the amount of sexual desire and emotional draw she has towards you is irreplaceable. And she knows that she's a better person for being with you, and a better person for being in that relationship. She starts to, it's what's called idealized isolation. Her identity wraps up into the relationship. Who she is the relationship, or at least the relationship is an integral part of who she is. Her relationship with you is a part of who she is, and it makes her better than everyone else. And so with that, she is isolated. Nobody understands but her and you. So that puts you at a higher level. Now you guys are exclusive now. It's not just the verbal commitment. Now there's nobody else, you see. And she has to feel that it's special like that, or she will not feel that that the commitment is worth, being in for a long, she just, it won't have that same feeling of irreplaceable. But when she is bought in like that, and she is idealistically isolated, now she feels like she is in an irreplaceable situation that she is willing to fight to keep. That is amazing frame control right there. That is the padlock that goes on the gate, so to speak, of your framework that you, in the relationship you have. Now, then the third phase was dependency, okay? Induced dependency, where you're having, she feels like she's made it. She's got the gold standard of the relationship based on, that isolation and her programming herself and seeing you as her apex alpha. And now you just repetition of amazing experiences causes literally a chemical dependency of dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and other cocktails of chemicals that are involved in that create all these amazing feelings that she has for being with you that she cannot get or recreate through anything else. And so that is where she's dependent on you now. She's addicted to these amazing feelings. She wants them on a regular basis. She needs them on a regular basis. And that's where the fun stuff happens. And I talked about that in the last video, because that's where you're just doing awesome shit, having amazing sex, and she's getting more addicted to you. So now we're into the final phase, which is dread. Okay, so dread has to be, and now what dread is a fear of being discarded, or a fear of losing what she has. So she has this amazing thing, and she's addicted to it, and she's addicted to you, and she's addicted to the relationship. That's already accomplished. Maximum frame control now, and maximum experience, maximum burning desire. She can't replace it. With that's going to come a fear of loss. What if, she's going to fear just being away from you for a few days and not, for a few weeks or whatever it might be, to not experience those emotions. You see that addiction, right? She's going to fear her identity being shattered of not being in the relationship. That's from that idealized isolation, right? She's going to fear her worldview being shattered because she transformed her life and her beliefs to match yours. And what happens if you're not there anymore? Now she's that frame's broken, and now who she is now shattered. That's terrifying. That's a dread level that is terrifying. That dread needs to be forever present, okay? Not because you're toxic and you want to create a situation of anxiety for your chick. You don't have to really do much to create this, but it should always be present. This also gets to the root of why most marriages are unsuccessful. Most marriages are unsuccessful because it's an attempt to remove dread. They dress up, a couple dresses up, and they get stand before family, friends, and the world. They make a bunch of vows to everybody around them, including whatever spiritual being they're worshiping, okay? And then they think that by the magic words and by the magical spiritual act of marriage, that it's forever and that it can never end. And so they get into an idealistic framework of this is permanent and forever. And there's never then that worry or concern of loss. Well, without the concern of loss, there's never that sense of urgency, I guess, or that sense of effort that one needs to put in to continue the relationship. Point is that if she doesn't realize the impending doom of this relationship ending, she will stop putting the effort in because she will always assume it's there, that some of that excitement will go away, so that neurochemical addiction she has will get blunted now. And that's really what ends up happening. It's just that she doesn't have it. You require that fear of loss to always continue to put in effort, which is why marriage, again, can be very damaging with the way that people do marriage sometimes, most of the time. Okay, when people do marriage in a sense where they're trying to remove this idea that this thing is going to end, not could end, but will end, 100% end, then they don't cherish every day with each other and they don't work to keep it going for as long as they possibly can. Now you're going to say, Paul, well, what do you mean? What about couples that, live into old age and die together? Well, someone died, right? It ended, at least. As far as this lifetime is concerned, whatever happens afterwards, I can't tell you. But as far as what this lifetime is, that relationship, as you know it, probably as anybody, as anything that exists, is over with when one of the partners are dead, right? So even if you make it to old age and somebody's dies, that's effectively an end, right? Or maybe it just doesn't work out in a year, you break up. And then that's effectively an end. But the point is, without the dread of it ending, the effort and the emotions that go with that effort start to get blunted, start to go away. And so that dread of an ending creates some excitement as well. And it creates a desire and a burning desire to keep things going. It gives her the motivation to continue to do things for you, to qualify to you, and to make things, good, right, with this relationship, to put that effort in, okay? So how this is done, though, right? All right, so there's two ways dread can happen. One is what we know if you followed pickup stuff, red pill circles, married red pill stuff, whatever, is negative, what I call negative dread. This is that where you instill more or less a fear of loss. You know what I mean? Through your behavior. I don't recommend that you're just instilling fears of loss in your woman to create artificial anxiety. That's not what I recommend. It's disingenuous, and she'll probably see right through it. And all of the things that you've done in the previous steps and stages, they kind of start to get blunted. She starts to not see you as maybe her sexual best if you're trying to fabricate a situation or whatever that, trying to throw up in her face or whatever that you could get other women, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, that stuff is screams of insecurity, and any kind of insecurity ruins your alpha presence and frame with her, right? So I'm not thinking that that's what you need to do. But negative dread is always present and always a thing that you might need to do. And that's just, simply passing her shit tests is a form of negative dread. That you're letting her know that you are unaffected, and your alpha frame is unaffected by her shit tests, by how you pass them and handle them, and yes, you're reinforcing that you're the apex alpha. Even if you have this impeccable frame and you've done all of these stages correctly, shit tests still will happen occasionally. It's just part of it. And you pass those. That creates dread, a little bit of negative dread. The push pull, the positive and negative reinforcement of good behaviors. So you're positively reinforcing behaviors with your attention, your availability, and your effort. And you're negatively reinforcing behaviors you don't like by removing your attention and your effort and your availability. That's a form of negative dread, okay? And being a sexually attractive man and being sexually attractive to other women, not being afraid to demonstrate that. Again, not done in an insecure way, but just not being afraid to show up, be attractive. Other women notice you. She notices that. That is a form of dread, okay? And that's actually an attractive and arousing form of dread for her. She knows that other chicks think you're hot. That's social proof that you're hot, and it's going to make her more aroused by you, okay? So those are the forms of negative dread. Now, positive dread is really more where you're doing things to make each other happy. She sees you as an apex alpha. She wants to do things to qualify to you to make you happy because it makes her happy that she's making her alpha happy. And her existential threat, especially if you've gone through these other phases, at expert level, okay? She's going to see you as this amazing person that she needs to constantly work to keep. And so she is going to, her existential threat would be that you get bored or unhappy with her and that you discard her. That's her biggest threat. And so she wants to make sure that doesn't happen by embedding herself in different parts of your life and doing things for you and trying to make you happy. And so that's a form of positive dread where she is not her fear of loss is causing her to do things for you. But here's the positive part is that you do things for her too. So by you creating these experiences and doing little things for her here and there, that makes her think, God, this guy is such an amazing guy. I better kick in even more effort. And so that's actually a fun way of doing dread. I had a whole video on this, but that's a fun and good way of creating dread in a relationship. That's a positive way of doing it, because what happens is you're both almost in a competition to do things for each other, make each other happy. And I say you let her win that competition. Let her do a little bit more for you, and that's okay because it makes her happy. It gives her good feelings to do that, and it reduces her anxiety of losing you. Okay, but mostly it just makes things enjoyable. If you and your partner are doing shit for each other, making each other happy sexually, making each other happy, whatever, emotionally, logistically, making life a little bit easier, so on and so forth, just makes life better. And if you're going to be with this person in a long-term situation, you better be making each other's lives better, right? And so that's where it's a form of dread that's done it's more of a positive way. Okay, but those things need to be present. Okay, the ever-present negative dread needs to be there when necessary. The positive dread should be an ongoing thing. Okay, but it's really the framework and understanding that she could lose you. She could lose you not because you're not making her feel that way by trying to intentionally make her insecure, but it's just that if things are so good between you two and she's having such an amazing time and she's not, it's just a matter of her not taking those things for granted, not forgetting where she came from, not forgetting that part two where she's isolated because other people don't experience what she's experienced and don't understand it, you see. So that's what that is. And so that's why dread has to be forever, ever present in these situations. If you choose to take that vow or get married, all right, that's fine. That's on you. That's your religious beliefs, okay? There's positive effects that can have on your game and, from a game level, okay? But in maintaining frame level too. However, you cannot remove, though, the fact that the relationship could end. And as a man, understanding this stuff, maybe being red pill or maybe just following my material and understanding how women are, that you have a burden of performance as a man no matter what. There is no forever. There's only her emotions and how you show up. Okay? That as a man already. You should anyway. She needs to know that as a woman, though. She needs to know that that's there, that your loyalty and dedication is undying for her, of course, but that's as who she shows up as and how and who you know her to be. But if she is not showing up and being the person that you know her to be, then there's a shelf life. You know what I mean? She loses time, attention, energy from you, even if the relationship doesn't dissolve. And because she's addicted to you, which is again phase 3, because she sees you guys as above and beyond everyone else, and because she's in your frame, right? That she doesn't want that. She doesn't want to lose your time, attention, and effort. So that creates dread for her, just losing that supply of that addiction of neurochemicals, right? And so that needs to be forever present. If it's forever present, that just keeps you both in check, actually. Keeps her in check, keeps you in check too. You know what I mean? And so that's it. That concludes it. It's a 5-part with an intro, right? 4 parts of frame control. I'll repeat it again, It's, part, my brain is like fried from doing all these. But part 1 is the programming, right? Where she changes, her beliefs, thoughts, and lifestyle to match yours and sees you as apex alpha, highest SMV. Part 2 is idealistic isolation, where she realizes nobody understands the relationship she's in and how amazing it is, and that she's better for being in the relationship, and that she's better than every one of her peers, and the relationship she's in is better than any one of her peers. That's the isolation, okay, phase. And then 3 is that induced dependency. That's that neurochemical dependency from all the sexual and emotional feelings she has from being with you, through that repetition of creating awesome experiences and seduction, okay? Can't say that word enough. And then part 4 is dread, knowing that if she doesn't continue to put the effort in every single day, and that, if either one of you stop putting in effort, that there's a shelf life on the relationship. Forever is not a thing. It's only, longevity of the relationship only happens with effort. And that's what dread instills in that. You have those 4 things present, okay? You develop those 4 things in stages. You maintain those 4 things, okay? As well as your SMV as a man, all right? You'll have maximum frame control over the women in your life for as long as you have them, as long as you want to have them. And you'll have amazing unmatched experiences that you will both have. She will have and you will have. All right, so I just gave you the golden ticket in a 5-part series. Share it with people, okay? And thanks again for the support.